Here is part 2 of exponent rules. Pause and write down these rules. First property on this slide is what we call the zero power property. What it says is anything raised to the 1 or anything raised to the 0 power is going to be 1. So if I give you something like this, 3 to the 0, you would get 1. The next property is the power of 1 rule. Anything raised to the 1 power is 0. So itself, excuse me. So 5 to the 1 power is 5. This last one is the negative power rule. When you have a negative power, something like this, 3 to the negative 5, you can rewrite it as 1 over 3 to the 5th. Now I'm going to go ahead and write this property a little bit different too. You could also see it like this, 1 over a to the negative n. That's the same thing as flipping it, a to the n. So an example would be like this, 1 over 2 to the negative 3, you can rewrite that and flipping it to the top as 2 to the 3rd. Makes it a positive power. We do want you to leave your final answers on any assignment or test as positive powers, never as a negative. All right, so here are some more examples of simplifying our powers. So we have a power to a power. So this is an exponent. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply them. It's kind of like distributing through. So we're going to take and distribute it to all the pieces here. So we have 2 to the 3rd, x to the 3rd, y squared to the 3rd. Now we multiply, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. X cubed just stays it as x cubed. And what do we do with those? We multiply them, y to the 6th. So there's your final answer. All right, let's jump down to number 6 here. This is a power rule, but notice this whole thing is raised to the 0 power. That all becomes 1. And then we still have this 3a. Now 3a times 1 is just 3a. Last example on this slide. I'm going to go ahead and just drop the parentheses. 3a, b to the 4th, 4a, b to the negative 3. Now I'm going to kind of group like pieces, so like pieces would be like our numbers, our coefficients, so 3 times 4. Then I'm going to combine together the a and the a. Those are like exponents terms because they both have the same base. And then b to the 4th and b to the negative 3. Now, 3 times 4 is 12. We'll bring down our little PEMDAS rule here. Now you can see what are we going to choose for our a to the 1 and our a to the 1. What are they doing to each other? They are multiplying, so we are going to add those powers. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Now same thing again, we're going to add those powers. So we get 4 plus negative 3 is 1. All right, x to the negative 1. That's one of your negative power rules. So we're going to rewrite that as 1 over x to the positive 1. Number 9, we have this little negative power here. The 3 does not have a negative, so that 3 is going to still stay there, but now my x is coming up to the top and becoming a positive x squared. So my answer then is just 1 times x squared is x squared over 3. Number 10, 5 to the 0 power. Remember that 0 power? it equals 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. All right, let's jump ahead into number 11. I have some negative powers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of those negative powers. So think about a negative power flipping. So this comes down, and this jumps up. So it's going to look like this, 12a cubed, and now that a is going to become up as a positive a squared, and then over 4, and b, and now that green b to the negative 4th is going to become a positive b to the 4th. Now can we reduce? 12 and 4 becomes a 3. And now what do we do with these two? They are multiplying each other. So we add those exponents. That's a to the 5th. What do these become? Add those exponents, and you get b to the 5th. All right, question 12. You can do this problem a couple ways. I'm going to show you the faster way, and then I'll show you the other way. So what we have is negative 2 raised to this whole thing. If you want to make that a positive power, you can flip it, the fraction. So the y comes up on top, the 3x squared goes down to the bottom, and now you have a positive 2 power. Now we're going to go ahead and raise those in, so we're going to distribute, think of it as that way. So it's y squared over 3 squared, x squared, squared. So we're left with y squared. 3 times 3 is 9. Do you remember what you do from a power to a power? Multiply those. So there's your final answer. Now I said I would show you a different way to do this problem. Not as fast. So let's rewrite that again. 3x squared over y to the negative 2. What you can do is you can distribute the negative 2 to all pieces. So it looks like this. 3 to the negative 2, x squared to the negative 2, y to the negative 2. Then I'm just going to leave that 3 to the negative 2 as it is. This is a power to a power, so we multiply. And now notice all of the terms have a negative power, so we have to flip them. So 3 to the negative 2 comes down to a positive 2. This goes up as a positive y squared. And then this goes down as x to the 4th. Now we just clean it up. Y squared over 3 times 3 is 9, x to the 4th.